Good morning, everybody, once again. And now I will share with you the slides. Okay, there are two. Yesterday we have discussed about the root zone technology and the centralized and decentralized wastewater treatment system. Centralized system, in that we are collecting the wastewater from entire city at one place and treating it. That is the centralized sewerage treatment system. And decentralized wastewater treatment system, where we are treating the wastewater at the respective place where it is generating. And in between that, there is a partially decentralized sewerage system. If the particular city's topography is not cooperating for the collection of sewage by the gravity, in that case, we can go for the decentralized sewerage system by constructing the wastewater treatment plant at multiple places in a city. Okay, by converting it into a different zones. So this part we have discussed first, and then we have discussed a root zone technology. So plants' roots are helping to reduce the impurities present into wastewater. And this decentralized, this is also called as the decentralized wastewater treatment system. Decentralized in the sense, suppose from particular industry, from particular apartment, particular colony, if the wastewater is generating, and then you can install the DVAT system, which is not that much costlier, which is not that much maintenance required. So that kind of system we can go for. So in this root zone technology, we can use the plants. Hello, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my speaker was not working. I thought. Thanks. Okay, so in the root zone technology, you can use these types of plants. What are the types of name of plant? Phragmites australis. Cissus is, it is also called as the cissus. So due to it's a natural process, there is no need to add any chemical or the mechanical pump for the treatment purpose. It can be performed naturally with the natural phenomena. Okay, only you need to arrange some layers of these rocks, as at the bottom larger, then smaller, and then you can plant the trees, and then roots of the plants will percolate into that particular bed which you have created, and you can pass the water from top to bottom, and it can be collected from the bottom. And while passing through this layer, the roots of the plants will absorb the impurities present into wastewater, and it will help us to reduce the COD as well as BOD of wastewater. And only you need to create a natural slope, or you can let it be there is a natural slope. If it is not there, you can construct that natural slope and allow to flow the water by the gravity. Okay, so this was the root zone technology we have discussed in yesterday's lecture. Now the next technology is the constructed wetland. In the constructed wetland, short form for the constructed wetland is usually used as the CW. Is an artificial wetland. Wetland, you may be knowing about the wetland. म्हणजे दलदलीचा प्रदेश, बऱ्याच ठिकाणी नॅचरली दलदलीचा प्रदेश असतो. Okay, that is known as the wetland. So you can construct that kind of wetland to treat the municipal or industrial wastewater. Usually you might have observed where there is the wetland type of structure. आळूची झाडं बघितलं असतील जिथं खूप सारं पाणी आणि कंटिन्युअस पाणी असतं आणि खूप दलदलीचा प्रदेश झालेला असतो, तिथं आळूची पानं छान येतात. ओके, likewise such plants can be planted in a wetland area, and that will be the constructed wetland for the treatment of wastewater generating from the municipal area as well as from the industrial area. And specifically this kind of wastewater, this kind of wetland will be helpful to treat the gray water or the storm water runoff. Okay, constructed wetlands offer a natural, simple, affordable and green technique for wastewater treatment. Okay, so we are also going to construct that wetland in a college for the treatment of wastewater generating from the hostel. Currently we have sewage treatment plant, but along with this we are trying to construct a wetland. So that will be one kind of demonstration for the students, as well as it will be one of the economical and eco-friendly way to treat the wastewater. That's why we are planning to construct that wetland in our institute also. It may also be designed for land reclamation after mining. Land reclamation. So during mining, there are a lot of structural developments are happening in the soil. Structure developments are happening. Chemical properties, physical properties of the soil are changing. And for that purpose, we need to go for the reclamation of that soil to make the use for the fertilization purpose. And at that time, you can reclaim that soil by depositing the cutted plants which are constructed in the wetland or the root zone technology. This can be that can be cut into small pieces, and then this can be applied into the same place, and this will help to reclaim the soil. Okay, as a mitigation step for natural areas lost to the land development. Okay, so that kind of structure can be constructed for the constructed wetland. You can see here, I think the names are not that much clear, but try to understand. These are the plants, aquatic plants. कर्दळीचे झाड म्हणजे मगाशीच्या पिक्चर मध्ये बघितले ते plants. These plants are working effectively for this wetland structure. Okay, so huge amount of water is required in a soil, and the soil will just help to hold these roots, and this can be constructed that way. Means slope can be given, and the outlet side will be lower than the inlet side, and from inlet the water will be allowed to enter slowly through this permeable membrane, and then it will be passed through this pipe, and it will be collected in a separate well, and from that well it will be transported for the further use, maybe gardening purpose, washing purpose, flushing purpose. You can use it. Okay, and whatever the impurities present into that sewage will be absorbed by these roots of the plants, and these will be deposited into the leaves of these plants. And after some time, when growth is excess, at that time you need not go to remove it completely from the root. You just cut the trees from this place, and if you are cutting this, then there is a question where to dispose that cutted trees. So that cutted trees you can convert into small pieces by shredding, and that part you can utilize for the rehabilitation of that particular soil, reclamation of that some specific soil, like the mining soil or saline soil, that you can go for reclamation with the help of deposition of such particles, such material in that. Okay, so this is about the constructed wetland. There are two main types of constructed wetland. One is the subsurface flow and surface flow constructed wetland. Two types of wetlands you can construct. One is at the subsurface flow, and another is the surface flow constructed wetland. You can create wetland in any level, area and make it suitable for most wetland plants by digging out a depression, lining it with plastic. Miss, the way it is shown in the figure, so you can give a proper shape and then cover up the besides area with the plastic liners to avoid the percolation of the same liquid into the nearby area. That way you can go for. After selecting the site, you should use a hose or rope, lay out the shape of your wetland. You can decide. Top 10 trees which we can use for the wet garden. These are the maples, or this is not that much, birch, betula species, sweet gum, liquid amber, styrac, syphila. So this is not that much important, but you can use such types of trees for the constructing the wetlands. Only you need to take care, give a proper shape, give a slope towards the outside, towards the outlet, and then one more thing, provide the liners from the inner side to avoid the percolation of liquid into nearby area and disturbing the water quality of nearby area. Okay, and then cutting of trees after some particular time and use of that cutted plants for the reclamation of soil purpose. Okay, only these highlights you need to understand, and then you can easily construct the wetland for the treatment of wastewater. Such systems are especially efficient at removing contaminants such as BOD, suspended solids, nitrogen, phosphorus, hydrocarbons, and even metals too. Okay, so these are the specific properties, specific parameters which can be removed with the help of constructed wetland from the wastewater. What are these parameters, guys? BOD, suspended solids, nitrogen, phosphorus, these are the nutrients, then hydrocarbons, and sometimes the heavy metals too. Okay, so nitrogen, phosphorus, you may be thinking this is a nutrient and why we need to go for the removal of this? Because if you don't remove, if you don't control it from the wastewater disposal, it will it will help to have the eutrophication in the aquatic bodies. What is meant by eutrophication? You might have observed the violet color flowers, the green plants are growing randomly with a very huge amount in the ponds usually. मग ते पण सोलापूरचं तुमचं ह्याचं तळ सिद्धेश्वर तळ असो. So they are investing a lot of energy to clean that, to remove, to prevent from the growth of that eutrophication plants. Okay, so such types of problems occurs if excess amount of nutrients allowed to pass along with the wastewater. That's why whenever you are sending wastewater to this nearby water body or nearby land, at that time you need to treat it, and this is one of the effective treatment. Which one? Constructed wetland. Okay, so this is about the constructed wetland. If you have any question, you can ask me about the wetlands. Do you want to ask me any question about the wetland?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then we'll move forward to the next point. Are you writing the points at least? I hope you are noting down the points. Duckweed ponds. Okay, these are the small bits as advanced technologies, eco-friendly technologies for the treatment of wastewater. We are studying as a second half part of the fourth chapter, disposal of wastewater. In that, duckweed ponds is one of the another technology can be used for the treatment of wastewater. What is this duckweed ponds? This is a relatively new technology in which small scale wastewater treatment can be achieved using duckweed. How duckweed looks like, see in this figure. You might have observed. Okay. Duckweed is a self-growing plant abundant in tropical countries. It is commonly used as a fertilizer in paddy fields, but has recently been used in the treatment of wastewater in Bangladesh. Duckweed is a very small floating plant. It has shoe sole shaped leaves with a small hair-like roots along hanging below. You can see here, it is a small shoe-shaped plants which is having hair-like what we can say roots which are hanging in the plants. It is not visible how these roots are there. There is no need to have the soil for the growth of them. They are floating on the surface in the water itself. They are growing. Very small leaves are there. And when together you are observing, it will look like this. You can see here, like this, it will be observed togetherly. Okay, so duckweed is a very small floating plant. It has shoe sole shaped leaves with a small hair-like roots hanging below. Once established, duckweed in ponds can cover the entire water surface and resemble a golf course green. It will look like this second picture once it is established in any of the water body. It can cut off sunlight to submerged plants and cut off oxygen to fish and other wildlife. That is one of the biggest drawback of this plantation. This technology is suitable in a tropical climates. Okay, as a plant for wastewater treatment, duckweed has several advantages over the aquatic macrophytes. First, duckweed has a high rate of nutrients uptake and can tolerate high wastewater nutrient level. Okay, duckweed multiplies vegetatively and accumulates biomass rapidly. So what are the main advantages in respect of the duckweed plantation in a particular wastewater? So if there is a any pond you can observe, and in that pond you are finding there are huge amount of polluted area is there. So you can just plant these duckweeds in that region, in that pond. So immediately it starts multiplying. And the biggest advantage of that is it is having high rate of nutrients uptake, and they can tolerate that nutrients also. And because of uptaking the nutrients with a faster rate, reclamation of that particular pond is getting done with a faster rate. So that is the biggest advantage of these duckweed plants. Okay, and another advantage, accumulation of biomass with a rapid rate is also one of the advantage of the duckweed plantation. म्हणजे एखादा तळ एखादा पॉन्ड खूप खराब झाले आणि त्याचं रिक्लेमेशन करायचं असेल तर यू कॅन गो फॉर दिस टेक्नॉलॉजी. Small amounts of duckweed can be beneficial to fish ponds, and goldfish love to eat as a snack. Goldfish is taking that as a food for them. Okay, small amounts of duckweed may be beneficial as they can help to reduce excess nutrients, control algae growth, improve oxygen level, and even provide shade and predator protection. Okay, so what happens if it is covered, if it is allowed to grow entirely, it is covering entire area, then in that case there will be no penetration of sun radiations, as well as there will be no penetration of atmospheric oxygen, and in that case there will be will not have the growth of the aquatic plants and aquatic animals. That will be one issue. But if it is controlled duckweed plantation, in that it will be very beneficial. How it will be beneficial? As it is having a high capacity to absorb the nutrients. And if nutrients are absorbed with a high rate, definitely it is going to help to control the growth of algae. And in that case, it will also help to increase the level of oxygen. So that's why if the duckweed are planted in a pond with a controlled manner, definitely it is going to help. Then advantages. This technology is actually we have discussed advantages and disadvantages and that technology simultaneously, but still here in this slide I have provided the advantages and disadvantages in a segregate manner. So once again, this will be one kind of recall to you on the same point. Okay, so what are the advantages? This technology is inexpensive to construct and operate and easy to implement. Inexpensive. one of the biggest benefit. Then duckweed is a prolific plant, especially in nitrogen-rich environments, and can be easily used as mulch or natural soil organic enrichment. We are removing that entire plants from that particular pond. At that time, we can use these plants for the mulching purpose, and that will help to increase the organic enrichment of that particular soil. So these are the advantages. Means when it is in a water, it is absorbing the nutrients, excess nutrients present into water, and helping to degrade the reduce the reduce the nutrients present into wastewater. And simultaneously, when it is removed and dropped into a soil for mulching purpose, it will increase the it will enhance the organic enrichment of that soil. So both way it is helping us, but only thing we have to focus on the controlled duckweed plantation. Now, what is the disadvantage? It flows through the oxidation pond, are not properly controlled. There is a possibility and that the duckweed will flow out with the effluent. Treatment capacity may also get lost during high floods if the area is not protected one. Okay, so this is the disadvantage of duckweed plants. I hope you are understanding this. Now that day when a message was dropped on your the group regarding this some lecture चालू एक कॉल करू का 12 म्हटलं लेक्चर चालू आहे 12 वाजता कॉल करू का अर्जंट आहे So same call, whatever I was talking about we have a call. What I was telling you that when we have received a Mangalwada Nagarpalika consultancy, and a lot of reclamations we are assuring to them. So there is a one big pond also. So we are going to try this concept or this technology over there for the reclamation of that particular pond. So if time and situation permits, definitely we will allow you guys to visit to the Mangalwada. Okay. So if you don't have any problem, I will move to the next point, or if you have a problem, you can ask me. Okay, I assume that you don't have problem, and we'll move forward towards the last point, fluidized aerobic bed technology and UASB. These are the kind of same technologies. Lecture चालू तुला करते फोन थोड्या वेळाने 12 वाजता. Fluidized aerobic bed technology. Fluidized bed are biofilm reactor with a wide range of applications in biological, aerobic, anoxic, and anaerobic treatment. Applications of this technology includes aerobic digestion, oxidation of organic matter, nitrification, denitrification of industrial and urban waste. So look at this figure, I will keep on explaining. Are you understanding what is happening in this figure? Fluidized bed. It is a fluidized bed. Solid particles are allowed to enter from one place, and then gas is passed from the bottom, and on the grating there is a openings provided for the gas, and then have you gone through this figure? I will take back to this explanation. Fluidized aerobic bed technology. Aerobic in the sense we are passing oxygen or the air. Okay, and fluidized aerobic bed. There is a bed, okay, in a controlled bed. First thing, aerobic, we are passing oxygen or the atmosphere air, and fluidized in the sense it is not settling, it is remaining in a suspension form, fluid form. Fluidized beds are biofilm reactors with a wide range of applications in biological, aerobic, anoxic, and anaerobic treatment. Okay. Applications of this technology includes anaerobic digestion, oxidation of organic matter, nitrification, and denitrification of industrial and wastewater. So these are the applications. And when this, you can perform the oxidation of organic matter and nitrification, denitrification of industrial and urban wastewater. And that can be possible by 3 ways. First one is the aerobic, means by passing oxygen. Second one, anoxic, and third one, anaerobic. Anoxic in the sense mixed type of organic, inorganic together can work. And third one is the anaerobic, in that you can pass the methane like gas instead of the oxygen. So that will help to maintain the anaerobic environment in this fluidized bed. So here, when it is remaining in a suspension form, the degradation process performs, nitrification, denitrification performs, and then this solid degraded part can be taken out from the outlet, and whatever gas we have passed from the bottom, it will be automatically emitting from the outlet provided at the top by the natural phenomena. Okay, so this way it will be working for this. Means this technology is not that much accepted because it's having the critical handling or the critical handling activities, and also pressure and energy is required a lot for the maintaining that as a fluidized bed. So this is not that much accepted, but for specific purpose it is going to be accepted. In this type of reactor, a fluid, gas or liquid, is passed through the through a solid granular material, usually a catalyst possible shaped as tiny spheres at high enough speeds to suspended Good morning. So in that, the particles will be remain in a suspension form. The solid particles will remain in a suspension form. Okay. And because of that suspension, the degradation process performs, nitrification, denitrification also performs, and the solid particle can be taken out from the outlet. So as we are making them to flow, that's why it is being identified as a fluidization. Okay, it is a fluidization technology. And in that, solid substrate material in the fluidized bed reactor is typically supported by the porous plates. At the bottom, you have seen in the figure, this is a porous plate. Through this, we are passing the gas, and because of that, it is maintaining the fluidized environment in that particular tank. Okay. So this technology is not being accepted much because of the excess cost is required to maintain. For the installation cost is more, then maintenance cost is more, and the supervision is also required a lot. So that's why this technology is not accepted. And the another one technology which we were discussing, that the upflow anaerobic sludge blanket, UASB. In short, it is called as the UASB. You can look at this figure, how the UASB, fluidized bed and UASB, similar types of technologies. But fluidized bed can be used for the anoxic environment, aerobic environment, as well as anaerobic environment. But the UASB, usually it is used for the anaerobic environment itself. Okay, where sludge will be deposited into this particular tank, and from the bottom, the gas will be passed through that, and it will moving, means the gas as well as the solid particles, which will be moved in an upward direction. So that's why it is a upflow. It is a name of that technology itself is the upflow technology. Okay, and you can look at in this figure that inlet is provided at the bottom and outlet is provided at the top. So upflow technology in a reverse direction. So what will happen because of that upflow? There will be a suspension. Means for mixing purpose, it becomes effective. Otherwise, sedimentation is one of the major cause for the failure of such types of anaerobic technologies. So that sedimentation will not be allowed in upflow anaerobic technology, and that's why it is effectively running. Okay, and for the removal or collection, for the collection of gas, there is an outlet provided at the top, and a specific shape of this tank is helping to take out these solid particles from this outlet area. This is a mass balance equation. Inlet and outlet will be maintained. Okay, so that force applied to inlet will not allow to settle down the particles into this tank. And because of that, sedimentation will be avoided. And if sedimentation is getting avoided, automatically decomposition rate will increases. Okay, so this is about the upflow anaerobic sludge blanket technology. And normally it is referred as UASB reactor. Okay, and it is a anaerobic reactor. The UASB reactor is a methanogenic digester. It is also called as the methanogenic digester, like the biogas plant, and that evolved from the anaerobic digester. One of the version, you can say, this is one of the version of biogas plant. So same phenomena like the biogas, as we have discussed, will be performing here in the UASB. So with this, you can keep just watch this figure, and this chapter is over. So if you have any questions or any problem in that respect, you can ask me. I will give you 2 minutes for the same. Any question? Okay. Snehal is saying no question. Anybody else? Then shall we start the new chapter as discussed yesterday? Thank you, Snehal. First of all, I will stop recording